Warning. You are about to enter the propaganda report with Brad Binkley.
And Ian Covell.
Warning. Warning.
That's right. You have entered the propaganda report with Brad Binkley and Ian Covell. The CIA Morale Manual Part 3, which we're going to do at the end of the show. Zohran Mamdani's trick, I don't even know how to say his name, and the burning flag. Again, this propaganda report with Brad Binkley and Ian Covell. Ian, I think we should take a minute to congratulate. I'm sure you've heard that pretty soon it's going to be Travis Swift. Pretty soon.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I screamed, dropped my phone at work. My coworker was like, "What is it?"
I dropped the baby I was holding.
Yeah.
And screamed.
Everyone is going to remember where they were when they found out that Taylor and Travis are going to get hitched.
Every year they'll do like they used to do for 9/11 back when they cared about that. They would do a memorial of where were you.
Maybe we'll have like a big Travis and Taylor like celebration every year where everyone gets to dress up and cosplay.
Yeah, everybody has like you can do like a little scenario where you act you're a wigger.
Well,
and
Brad,
you
said the W word with a hard R.
You date hot black chicks with big booties, and then you all of a sudden become the whitest guy ever, and you date the flattest, blondest girl. You just go completely against the grain of your entire life. Whatever.
She's a cute girl.
To each your own.
I'm not afraid of tall women. I've exposed.
How tall is she? Like,
she's a tall lady.
She's like 6 feet tall.
She's maybe 5'11", 5'10".
Yeah, I think she might be 6'5".
Taller than me, Brad. She's taller than
She's
me.
taller than both of us, I think.
Yeah.
I think she can dunk a basketball. She could, if she was not a singer, she would be in the WNBA. I think.
You think so?
If
I wasn't doing this podcast,
just think of the babies
in the WNBA.
Yeah, of course,
or at least
both of
the
us.
WNBA coach.
Right, you'd be a great WNBA coach. You'd be like, don't let those dildos distract you.
All practice long, I'm just chucking
them with
dildos at them.
That's the sketch I want to do. Is me training for the WNBA, and you come out as my coach, and you're throwing dildos at me.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Well, I'm trying to practice. So here's just
Bobby Knight of
yeah, you get an entire bucket of them. God, you fling them at me. That's fantastic. So check out this reaction to this was a CBS. This is a news reporter. Somebody who works for CBS. This is her on-air reaction to the news breaking.
Probably similar to mine.
Very similar to yours.
Yeah.
And let's see what the state. See if we can gauge the state of America.
I
based
squealed.
On this.
That's the best way I could describe what I did.
I heard a collective squeal across the country.
Yeah.
It was piercing.
Yeah.
But yet euphoric. Here she is, CBS reporter, and CBS is sharing this on their site. I make this a little smaller here. All right.
Taylor Swift is engaged. Taylor Swift is engaged. Taylor Swift is engaged. Come back to me. She just posted it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's huge. The ring is ginormous. This is so exciting. Oh my God. Oh my God.
America needs.
Oh my God, it's on her
some news
Instagram.
like
It's on her
this.
Instagram. It's on her Instagram. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Even under fascism, even under all the fascism that's spreading throughout all of Washington D.C. right now, we can still have something like this, a bright spot.
Oh my God. I feel like Paul Revere right now. This is a very exciting moment for me in my professional career because I get to announce that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. As you're talking to Joe Lang, our lovely producer Gabby Ake texted me and said, Taylor Swift's engaged. And
She's in Washington, D.C. right now. I believe she's in front of the White House as she's doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
you can see it right there on her social media. She put it up in that post that they got engaged with the caption, your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married with a little dynamite.
Okay, let's talk about that. They're not my English teacher and gym teacher. I don't need to hear what role playing they're doing in the bedroom, which that's what that
English teacher
is.
And my gym teacher.
That's what they're LARPing as
Really?
in the bed. That's what I speculate.
I
They're
just-
joking about it, and they're like, "Let's say we're the that thing we do where she pretends to be the gym teacher and he pretends to be the English teacher, and she pegs them."
Yeah, man. I finally reached that point in my life where I just don't care about any celebrity news.
I don't either. That's why this is so. I don't know what she was reporting on right before this. I'll probably go back and look for it later. But I hope it was just. I hope it was Israel and Palestine. I hope.
Yeah, I hope she was just reading off the Hamas Health Council's numbers or whatever the fuck they're called.
And they were showing pictures, really hard pictures to look at, and then oh my god, and they moved the pictures away very quickly to see her excitement.
Dynamite sign there. So very exciting here that we get to break that and tell you about that.
All right, Swifties for life.
And Brad,
I
where
have a-
were you? How come you didn't jump on and do a special stream today? Where were you, dude? You missed out. This is why show's not getting to the next level, because
right.
you're not jumping on
I
this
didn't-
kind of news, dude.
I didn't get it. I should have pulled over
You should have pulled over.
right there in the interstate. I should have got out and stopped traffic and waved. Stop!
Oh my God! You should have stopped traffic. You should have shut down the entire interstate.
Police officer says, "What are you doing?" So what are you doing? What?
And you showed
Did you
to
hear the
him.
news?
Yeah.
And
You
then
start shooting at people if they don't stop.
Tell everybody listen. And the cop says, It's okay. It's Taylor and Kelsey.
feeling, though, based on his prior statements, the president will not be having a Taylor Swift wedding in the ballroom. Hopefully that can shift.
Look
and
at
change.
her.
We can have some world
She
peace,
is so
right?
delighted.
Olivia Rinaldi, thank you,
You know,
so
Reed,
much.
I volunteered
Okay.
to cover it in case you need.
Okay.
I'll
He
be
should
there
throw
to
the
cover
liberals
it.
a bone.
Just saying.
I mean,
Sacrifice,
he's
Olivia.
he's letting us have the UFC fight there. Throw him a bone. Let
He wished him
Swiftie-
luck.
I saw that. Wish him good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's
marriage. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, I want to know. Prenup, obviously. She is worth like what, 1.6 billion. He's worth a measly 80 million. She dwarfs his, wealth.
Imagine having 80 million and still
Being cucked.
You fucking.
If they get married and then divorced and there's no prenup, he gets half hers, dude.
Yeah, dude. Fucking do it, dude.
He splits it with his brother. Goes back to dating big booty black chicks. Have you seen his ex? I'm of the opinion she's much hotter than Taylor, but maybe it's his personality. I know some people think Taylor's hot. I don't think she's not hot.
No, I think she's cute. She's a girl next door kind of cute. She's cute for sure.
Yeah, I think she's a type for some people. It's not my type.
I mean, you got her or Miley Cyrus, right? There's the bad girl and the good girl.
Miley Cyrus is definitely a different tone.
Different tone there.
Let me try to show you Kelsey's ex. I don't know if this is a good picture or not, but
I should let my dad know about this. He probably didn't figure. He probably doesn't have any idea.
he's going to be very excited, I imagine.
Very excited. Very excited.
I don't know if they've covered this. I'm sure they've covered it on Fox News. This is a picture of his ex here.
I can't think of a Taylor Swift song.
I don't know
think
one
I've
of
heard
them.
One. I want to stay this ignorant.
I'm
forever.
sure I've heard one, but I cannot name one.
I don't want to
Taylor
know
Swift
that
song.
I've heard one. I don't even want to know.
And I was reminded by Steve of AM Wake Up. I was on his show earlier this week, last week, that Toby Keith is who kind of discovered Taylor Swift in Nashville, because she started off in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not kind of doing country, but not really, and then.
I don't know what it is that all of a sudden it makes someone like that just super famous. Because
all those breakup songs. I don't either. I don't
It was
get
obvious why, like someone, like, you think of other pop stars from previous generations, like Prince. It's obvious why Prince was famous,
it. Oh yeah,
right? He's a fucking badass guitar player, pretty damn good singer too,
yeah. He
right?
was
Great lyricist.
Yeah,
Obvious.
He was also he was in that religion where he knocked on people's doors.
What, Jehovah's Witness?
He was a Jehovah's
Mormon?
Witness. Yeah,
He was no,
he was. He
Yeah.
was for a little while.
but I don't think really.
Hey, he came
It's
to
like-
my door.
He came to your door.
Yeah, he came to
Yeah.
my door. Yeah, I was wearing all purple. It was a
Like, what's so
coincidence.
great about Taylor Swift? That's the thing. That's what I don't get. Like, what's so great? Why?
It's one of
Like,
those
why-
things. I think it's like
You and I know
we don't get it.
an actor that I like to make fun of a lot that we both know personally. A local guy who I don't want to give it away. He's a grown man.
He's got a
huge-
mustache. It's real
Yes.
homosexual.
Yes, that
Yeah, I
one.
know exactly what you're talking about.
He
deserves to be made fun of. He's
deserves to be
embarrassing.
made fun of. He is a
Fag.
Taylor Swift fan.
Of course he
Like,
is.
goes to her fucking.
Of course he is.
What the fuck is
Of
wrong
course he is.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't
You're a
believe he's a
fucking
Taylor
grown man.
Swift fan. I believe he does that because he thinks it's what people
God.
will like.
Go to a
This-
car show.
to-
Go to
to
a
ca-
car show. Get your fucking
to
blood
relate
pumping.
to relate this to the seeking of influence and followers and stuff, which dominates politics and everything. Is this is a person who takes pictures of himself sitting on the toilet
He's such a little fucking.
and shares them, and and he's like a 40-year-old man.
He's almost 50 now.
Is he
Yes.
really?
Yes.
I thought he was. Wow, I did not realize that.
Yes. Yes, dude. It's time to grow up, pal.
Oh, wow,
Get
I
a
did not
fucking
realize that.
normal man hobby. Get into
He's much
miniature
older than that.
trains,
He's almost 50. It's crazy.
hunting. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole variety of more appropriate hobbies for a grown man.
That's
being
an
a Taylor
he's
Swift
an
fan.
interesting study on the impact of influencer culture on. I mean, very rarely you see someone of that age behaving that way. He
It's
behaves
fucking
like a
crazy.
25-year-old girl.
I get that way like at a Metallica concert, right?
So you take pictures of yourself sitting on the toilet.
No, but excited, like beyond normal. But I will say, like, I'll get super excited. Like, I've seen them 5 times.
You still
Every
get
time.
excited.
Yeah,
But
Red Hot Chili
they're kind of
Peppers.
gay now, though, aren't they? Aren't they like
Kinda gay
protest?
now.
Like protesty. Melena says her sister is 31 and loves Taylor. I don't get it either. I feel like I should. I think there's a point in everybody's life where you stop listening to new music.
Oh yeah,
Even though Taylor's been around for a while, it's just never been. I've always liked really, really, really old country music, like hardcore and classic rock and rap. Like
old school, like the outlaw country guys, like Merle Haggard,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
some real
You should
pain.
You should come to
I
the
do
Flying
sometimes.
Machine. Have you ever
Oh.
been to Flying Machine?
No.
Flying Machine at the Lawrenceville Airport. I know the owner. This guy's name is Hokey, and he and his buddy do a Willie and Waylon
Oh wow.
cover band.
That's great.
So he tours with it, but he
Yeah.
also he never dresses up, but he plays guitar at the restaurant. He does all his stuff. You can sit there, watch planes go take off.
Yeah.
and, it's a small little
That's
small
cool.
little airport.
I love stuff like that. I
Oh,
think
dude, it's like a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Like these things are dying.
I always imagine being in one of those places and they're like, the singer's voice got stolen. He's a mute now. We need a singer. I'm like, well, I can't really, but I can give it a shot. Yeah, and I'll go up and I'll speak some David Allan Coe if that's what you, and they'll be like, yeah, we need somebody. And then I have a beautiful voice, didn't realize it, and everybody loves it. And I become a country and western star, which none of those exist anymore. Nevertheless, Taylor and Travis are engaged. Good luck to them.
Good luck
I
to
hope that
them.
there is a
I think I could love again.
because
That's
of
what I
those
learned
two.
today. Because of those two.
So I have to say I wouldn't hate to be on the Kansas City Chiefs because you would be making a lot of money most likely, but the entire season until they get married. I don't know when the wedding is. If they got married tomorrow just to get it out of the way so he could focus on the season, then that would be very respectful of him. But he is only worth $80 million. She is worth $1.6 million. So
Who
this
pays
is
for
going
the
to
wedding?
be, it's going to be a Princess Di wedding.
Yeah.
And the entire season is going to be about that. The NFL has just been ruined.
I hope they get married during halftime.
I hope so too.
Halftime at the Super Bowl, they get married.
I hope every game, no matter who's playing, they cut to wherever Taylor is to see what her reaction is, because everybody's preparing for the wedding.
Wedding updates, like wedding countdown.
Have you seen, speaking of which,
200.
right, the guy's name, what's the guy's name who was on Married with Children? Have you seen this clip of him where he's talking about
I'm only forgetting
not being
because
invited
you're
to the
asking
wedding?
me. Oh, yeah. No, it's fucking great.
See, if I can find that real quick, I'll show it. Then we'll.
Damn it. Why am I forgetting his name?
I can't. I don't know that I ever knew his name. I just know that I've always thought he was funny. Ted Bundy. That's not. Ted Bundy's not the
Ed
thing.
Bundy.
All these
Ed
gruesome
Bundy.
images just came up. I'm like, what is going on? That's not what I was looking for.
Big difference.
Here he is.
Al Bundy. Sorry.
Al Bundy. Yeah, this is great. So he's talking about his co-star, Married with Children, the show from the 90s. He's talking about his co-star who was a lesbian.
Yeah.
And he didn't get invited to the wedding. And he tells a funny little story about it. And very good storytelling here, too.
Ed O'Neill. That's right.
Ed O'Neill, right.
We weren't fighting. And I remember, I said to David, well, everyone got one but you and I.
Talking about the wedding invitations from the co-star who was that.
And the son, David, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's the guy who played the son.
Yeah.
And the wife of the neighbors got married in real life and didn't invite him or the kid that played the son.
And I think Ron Levitt didn't get one. Everyone else did. And I thought, and I thought it was funny. But at the same time, I thought, this is stupid on her part. Why would she do this? So I went to her, and why? And she said, this was a very tough call. But I just feel that you would find it amusing that me and Becky would come in tuxedos in a church and walk down the aisle, and you and David would be snickering and finding it funny. I said, Amanda, what is funny about two women in tuxedos walking down the church aisle? I started laughing. And she said, see? I said, well, you know why? Because it is fucking funny. And I'm not going to be the only one that doesn't think so. Well, that was it, But it was funny. She had a little white tux, and it was just, to me, it was funny. But so, in other words, she may not have been wrong in excluding me, but I said, another time we got in a big fight over something.
So that was the end of the one I've seen. And
It's interesting. It's interesting that he would ask. Like if you didn't invite me to your wedding, I would just go, okay, message received.
Yeah.
Message received.
Yeah. Maybe they were working on set together still. I don't know. Although I don't know what the image is the person overlaid when they were. So it might, because people overlay images to make it seem like it's lining up with the timeline.
Yeah.
And it showed hers like older after the show. So I think those probably weren't accurate. It seemed like that happened during the recording of the show.
Sure.
And so it's like, what's going on? And my guess is there's going to be some tabloid stuff that's going to point that out. And I don't know. And he just seems like a pretty upfront guy. Another funny story about him is he was in an airport one day, and this girl came up to him, and she loved the show, and she just wanted to take a picture with him. She was so super excited, and he was just kind of like he didn't really want to. He just didn't want to be bothered, but he did anyway. This is according to him. And so he took the picture, and then he gets on the flight, And he checks out, and he gets back, and his grandkids are like, "Oh my God, we saw the picture you took." And they were going crazy because the girl that came up to him that was so excited to see him that wanted a picture with him was Britney Spears.
Hilarious.
Isn't that hilarious?
That's hilarious. God, poor Britney.
Poor
They got
Britney.
to her, man.
And you know what?
She's
Some
been-
poor
yeah,
guy is
she
going to
went
date her
crazy.
again.
Yeah, do you think you could fix her?
I sure as hell try. Cheers.
That's
She is-
That's like riding. That's like trying to like tame a wild animal.
The thing about her is every millennial guy, my age group, when we were young, we had Britney Spears posters.
Oh, well,
I
didn't have a poster, and I was a little older than you, but
I did.
I was in college watching that video.
Yeah.
a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was a little creepy on your part.
Yeah.
No. That's how they made it on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like the image of her, Britney Spears, even looking back on those videos now, which you can't do that. It is like definitely sexualized to the max, yet still trying to portray her as not that innocent, or as innocent, even though she says not that.
But
innocent.
that's what's so fun. That is not
that's-
new.
Right. That's why she's
mean-
messed up. Is because of that.
What was that? There's that song, "Sexy and 17," right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
Was that by Warrant? Maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Now
yeah,
all
I mean,
these songs,
like
the
about,
Beatles,
she's so
there's-
dangerous because
these like from the 50s, all these guys in suits.
she's a little too young. La, la, la. Yeah.
Like they're singing about 15-year-olds. She's
Yeah.
almost 16. It's just
Going on
like-
17.
And so that's like their hit song, right?
Uh-huh.
And if they age as a group, they're like 35 singing this song.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I discovered a collection of 45s.
Nice.
And there was a guy named Tony Bellis.
Those are
B-E-L-L
records, right?
Yeah. Bellus, Tony Bellis, and he's got a song called Young Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can check it out. Young Girls. Scooping up young girls. That's like the chorus. And it's a
Yep.
whole song about how he
And
likes
this
young
is why they
girls.
won't release the Epstein list.
They're like fat girls, something. Seriously, he's like tall girls, and he goes through all the types of girls. But he's like, but I really like young girls.
Right.
Boom, boom.
They're not like no crossovers, just
Yeah,
just
not tall
no,
young
not-
girls,
not
just
fat young girls.
Yeah, no fat young girls, just young girls.
Okay, yeah. All right, so let's talk briefly about the flag burning stuff, which is hot burning in the news the past
It's
couple
the
days.
best troll ever. Get out there and prove.
Well, obviously,
him
people
wrong.
are going to be. It's
Lots
yeah.
of images of liberals burning flags. Can't wait for it.
And so Saul Alinsky, and this will be something else I'll touch on after for the next story as well, is one of the Saul Alinsky principles is the action is in the reaction. Your opposition's reaction.
He's doing it to them.
And so there's other purposes I think that are served here, but definitely when you do this, you know that there's going to be people who are going to go burn a flag immediately, which that did happen immediately.
Yeah.
But what the actual EO says is isn't really covered that much, only the surface level of it because of the way it was presented. So on the surface, the story is that Trump made it illegal to burn the American flag, punishable by up to a year in prison. That's not actually what the EO that he signed says. That's the way
that's the way he even sold it.
Well, of course, yeah, and the way that he sold it like that.
No ifs, ands, or buts. You're going to jail for a year.
Absolutely. And Closed Circuit says, yo, Brad, love your coverage of Stacey Abrams. Thank you. I appreciate that. Takes a lot to cover her, but I try to do.
Oh, my God.
I try to do as much as
Material.
possible. And so that's intentional, the way he's framing that. That's one of the, I think, purposes of this is Edward Bernays used to talk about this all the time. You put out these trial balloons and you feel where the public is and you feel where you need them to be if you want to do a certain thing in the future. And so I feel like that part of it was, let's put this idea of actually making burning the flag illegal, that act in and of itself, and we'll see how the public reacts. So we see where they are now, and if we want to pursue this further in the future, then we know where we need to get them to. But that's not what the actual thing says.
Right.
What basically, I'm not going to read all of it, but it pretty much. I got a few passages here from it. Notwithstanding the Supreme Court's rulings on the First Amendment protections, so they acknowledge the Supreme Court rulings on that, the court has never held that the American flag desecration conducted in a manner that is likely to incite imminent lawless action or that it is amounting to fighting words is constitutionally protected. So that's nothing is new about what is said right there. That is. You can't commit a crime. You can't burn a flag and then whip somebody in the face with the burning tips of it and say, I'm protected by the First Amendment. That's basically what, something that's already illegal. Yeah.
It's one of those things, though, that I guess I don't know. I don't care. I think the flag is, I think the flag's probably a special exception for a lot of things. Look, you have there are venues where we suspend or put limitations on your rights. You don't have the same rights in a courtroom that you do walk around the street. We all agree on that. Everyone's okay with that. So to me, go full hog. Make it illegal to put a flag on any I don't know. To me, it's fuck it. I don't care. It's kind of a shitty thing to do. To burn the American flag, why are you doing it anyways? What are you proving? And
if people get their own flag and they burn their own flag,
that's fine. But I'm talking about doing it in public, not at your house.
Well, if you do it legally, so if you burn it in federal property and you violate those laws, then that's obviously
I'm not
illegal.
sure it'd be okay. I'm not sure I'm okay with anybody going on a sidewalk in a protest, burning anything. I would be totally fine seeing those people fucking boom tackled to the ground.
What if? Well, but if they're not in violation of any other law,
smoke and flames go everywhere. Yeah. I get to watch that video over and over and get my dopamine rush.
And so that I think is, and that's where people on the right, a lot of Republicans are pushing back with that, because the idea is that free speech, not that we have pure free speech, an argument being made
but is lighting something on fire free speach?
Well,
in public, lighting something on fire and waving it around, whether
it was under the Supreme Court, the 1989 law, burning in protest.
Yeah.
It was
things
protected
wrong all the time, Brad.
as free, right?
Supreme Court gets things wrong all the time.
I know, but based on the law of the land. When it comes to, you can't just, so based on the law of the land right now, that could be challenged.
Now, we'll get that changed. We'll burn a bunch of Supreme Court justice robes in public and see how long it takes before we get that changed.
When you get people charged up to do something just because they hate the people who are doing it, the way that can be turned against you when another administration takes over is oftentimes
I
not
want
not
another administration to come out after they make it illegal to burn flags. I want the new Democrat to come and go, hey guys, it's okay. Get your flags out. You can burn them again. Let's make them say it.
Well, I just think it's, as long as people are doing stuff in a way that it's their property and they're not violating the law, then I'm not going to do it. It's not something.
Sure.
I think people should be able to burn the gay flag also. Now now that's a hate crime. So there is that double standard people are pointing out. You should be able to burn any fucking flag. So you should be, if you're freezing, let's say you don't have any fire alarms, you don't have any heat in your house, you barely can afford to pay your mortgage because everything is so expensive, and you're about to freeze to death, and the only thing that you have to potentially to throw in your fire to keep yourself warm is your gay flag.
You better not.
Your American flag, your Iranian flag, and your Israel flag. So you take all four of these flags.
First.
You take all four of these flags.
Dude.
Do I preserve these four flags, or do I throw them selectively, pick some, or do I throw them all in the fire to keep myself warm? And if you just throw them all in the fire to keep yourself warm under this because this EO actually doesn't change anything.
Right.
Really. Very little.
It's just a troll. It's
But
just a
yeah,
troll.
if you just throw them all in the fire, you will not be guilty of anything at all except a hate crime for burning the LGBTQ flag. That's
I don't know, man. Like I don't.
you should be able to bring fucking thing you want as long as you don't do it in a way that's fucking that hurts anybody else.
It's
and it's
interesting
yours.
to me. It's interesting to me that what we're arguing is people expressing their freedom, and is burning the American flag the most productive way to do that?
It might not be the most productive way.
Is it the way that we should be
Right.
giving attention? Should I like?
So you're
I
talking
would
about
be
what
okay-
you would do and morals
Brad,
of
I'm
it.
fine if you light a flag on fire. I'm fine with someone punching you in the face. I'm
Right.
totally okay with it.
That's what you're okay. So if you wore a giant vagina costume with teeth in it and you marched up and down Washington
Yeah, you
with
can
a
punch me in the face.
with
You
an
can punch
all
me in the-
men,
then you
then
can punch
I
me in
don't
the
like. I
face.
wouldn't care if somebody punched you in your pretend pussy.
That's right.
But it's your
But these are false
it's your right to
equivalencies.
be a vagina furry. I
I think what a lot of people are getting at is like, okay, well, let's draw a distinction, because I think every equivalency falls kind of flat. There's really no equivalent. The gay flag's not really equivalent to the American flag. A big vagina
right, but
costume's
right
not
now it's a
equivalent
hate
to the
crime
American
though, so
flag.
it has more protect. So you should be able to burn the shit out of it if you want. The gay flag.
Yeah,
but right now
yeah.
you can't.
Dude, that's how I heat this house. I have a
nothing but
steady
gay
stream-
flags?
Nothing but gay flags. What I do is I employ a bunch of slave labor over in China to just keep making gay flags. Don't you stop making these fucking gay flags.
for the Uyghurs
And I ship them over here. I have an endless
course.
furnace that's just fueled by gay flags.
and Jews.
Dude, no, that's your furnace.
No, my
You're the one that's the Holocaust denier.
No, I'm not a Holocaust. Bibi Netanyahu is Bibi Netanyahu he's ushered in the progressive utopia in Israel. That's far more progressive than anything Biden ushered in, and yet
Do you know that they've
Republicans
been
are like,
killing 100 people a month in Iran?
we'd be what?
Do you know that the Iranian government has been executing 100 people a month since the bombing of the sites?
I'm sure that in the tribes of deep Africa, there's lots of executions going on, and
See, but we can't
I
do
don't.
this for the Jews. We can't ever do this for Israel. We don't have to get hung up on this.
No,
but what
I
you're doing
don't-
right now,
yeah.
we don't ever get to do for
No.
Israel.
No,
This is my favorite game to play.
Do what for Israel? I don't want our money being
My-
sent to someone
my
who's
favorite game-
anti-values for U.S. and who
I get it.
tried to force the vaccine on his entire population. And the LGBTQ capital of the world
It's not
is Tel Aviv.
perfect.
Progressives
It's
should
flawed.
love Israel. And Republicans are voted to stop the wokeness here so that they could then say,
They're not perfect.
send our money to protect the wokeness there. It's the craziest.
They're not perfect.
Nobody's perfect, but like just like I don't want our money going to Ukraine to protect something to fight a war. I don't want it going to kill people over there. We can't
Dude,
solve all the
Hitler
world's
had a puppy,
problems.
dude.
It has nothing to do with Israel. I don't care about any of it. It's all a con. It's all a con. It's the same war con that's been going on.
big
Every
dragon
single
con.
fucking big faggot con, whatever. It's the same shit that's been going on. And I don't care. So people look, people
Okay.
like the flag. They do. I'm not these
But
symbols. I don't.
You do
I don't
get
care
to get
about
punched in the face if you burn the American flag because you're an obnoxious piece of shit. So you get.
Look, you are. Look, I agree with you. You're obnoxious if you burn it, unless you're burning it along with your gay flag
Okay,
and your
maybe you don't get
Iranian
to get punched,
flag
but you do
to
get
stay
get
warm.
Shoved or bumped into
People who do it, so people do it in the privacy of
or
their,
to
own,
squirt
whatever.
fuel on you.
I don't like burning. I don't give a shit. So people who do those protest actions are almost always astroturfed anyway. They're almost always publicity stunts that are either intentionally sent to set off other people doing it.
I'll never
or-
get the pleasure of punching an Antifa person in the face.
You
I
can't.
just
I tell
dream
you what,
about it.
man. You come to some of those rallies I went. You would have the opportunity to do that, but
It's like I just don't know if the reality would live up to the fantasy I've built.
it
up in
probably
my head.
wouldn't. Yeah. You wouldn't have the bailout fund.
I don't want
like
to.
they
I
would
don't.
have.
You know what I mean? The fantasy of just beating up a crowd of Antifa members in my head.
That's-
Full berserker.
Half
mode
of
on
them
them.
are women pretending to be men.
They're in masks. I don't know that. They all look like skinny little men to me.
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you what, they all have hairy legs, regardless of the gender.
That's right.
Of them. But like for me, is like I know that these things are meaningful, important, and people should have respect for certain things. I have respect for the flag and because other people that I care about do. Me personally, I see it as a symbol of manipulation. I love America, but also I'm not going to have a piece of fabric that is going to have I don't care. Like I don't I think it's stupid when people protest and burn it.
Symbols are important, Brad.
Symbols are important, but they're also a tool of control, and they're a tool to compel people into war and whatnot. And I agree with you. When I see a bunch of people burning flags, I think, what a bunch of fucking dipshits. I think the same thing. Yeah. I do. But also, as long as if they're violating the law, they're doing it illegally, then look, arrest them. But
I would just like to suggest, Brad, that it's possible the way I'm not saying you're wrong to feel the way you're feeling. Totally acknowledge that to you, the flag isn't really what's important. It's you know what I'm saying. It's a symbol, but you don't really put a whole lot of importance into symbols.
Because
I think
Bad Christian says that I'm a socialist.
Yeah, I know.
We're
about
to.
We're about to. Brad, we're about to. No, but Brad, I think you and I would not think that way if you and I had been 20 years old when World War II kicked off. You and I would have a very different viewpoint of the flag because these types of things are different depending on where you're currently located in history and the world, all that stuff. So my grandfather had a very different. He would look at you. He would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You fucking retard."
Well, that's why I said I respect it because my grandfather was in the war.
Right. So when we say things like. When we say things like, it's just free speech, they should be able to burn the flag, and we start equivocating or making the flag equivalent to these things where it's just there's no equivalence to. There's just no equivalence to the what the American flag represents and what any other flag currently flying in the United States represents.
I'm not saying there's equivalence. I was saying that
you want to burn a Georgia Bulldog,
the gay flag. No, I don't want to burn.
Flag?
I think flags are stupid. I think being controlled by that stuff is dumb. The flag, the gay flag, having the protections that if you burn, I think you should be able to burn the shit out. I'm not saying that has more. I'm not saying there's equivalent. I'm saying they give the progressives give equivalence to it, and that's what's stupid. And I feel like this is just a pushback against that. And yeah, maybe that's some people think that's what needs to happen. Fuck, you should be able to burn any fucking thing you want if you own it. If you own it and you do it legally, you should be able to burn any fucking thing that you want.
I agree, but for and this is the last thing I have to say on it. The American flag is not just anything. That's it. That's where
right. But if you go buy an American flag and you want, if I go buy a PlayStation,
privacy of your own home,
and I want to burn it, then
but if you're out in public and you burn it, you should. There should be. I'm fine with you getting arrested on the spot. Maced in the face, fucking batoned.
If you're in violation of other law, so the Supreme Court law, like according to the Supreme Court,
they're wrong.
But still, what the law of the land is.
Well, that's how we change it.
And you can change it by having a conversation about it, and that's fine if you do that. And
all right,
people,
no, look, they get to burn the flag. I get to throw gasoline on them. How about that?
Well, if you can get that approved, like you can get some case precedent and get the Supreme Court to approve the gasoline.
Throwing gasoline on this person.
You're protesting by throwing gasoline. If it happens,
protesting by throwing gasoline.
It just happens to land on.
I'm not. My fault. That's not my fault.
It could be contributing to climate change, says Brucey. Get Reginald on the line. Reginald is burning flags in protest right now. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he wears an American flag thong.
Yeah, and he lights that shit on fire too. You know that. get that bussy all hot. But yeah, so this EO is basically it does prioritize the prosecution of it, but in short, it's like anybody who commits a crime that's already a crime is going to be convicted of a crime.
The EO just says focus on this, please.
Yeah, and if you and case in point, shortly after he signed it, there was a former veteran. And so, like I would say, my uncle, he was in Vietnam, and my uncle very much was that they lied to us. It was all bullshit. And they used the symbol to lie to us.
Sure, exactly. So again, he would have a different, and I agree that that's happened, but that does not change. Don't let those bastards own the symbol like that. That doesn't change what it means just because some people misused it. That's like, I mean, a lot of people have misused Christianity as well. So there are good things that get misused by bad people. Totally agree.
Of course,
with you
that's why I keep telling you guys that Bibi Netanyahu is the
American flags
Antichrist.
in public. They're
And Bibi Netanyahu is the Antichrist because he uses the Bible a good thing. Bibi Netanyahu uses the Bible a good thing in a bad way.
Right.
That's my opinion. But this is like a lot of people on the right too. Clay, I can't remember his last name. He used to be a sports guy. He's on Fox News now. He was like, I've never wanted to burn a flag, and I think those people are crazy, just like we've been talking about. He's like, but I've never been closer to burning a flag right now, because of what's going on. And there's others.
That's so stupid.
I mean, that's not. It's the idea of America.
Childish response.
From their perspective is the democracy and the flag is meant to defend the opinions that we disagree with.
Yeah. I love America so much, I'm going to prove it by burning this flag. I mean, that's what they're fucking saying.
No, they're not saying they love America. They're protesting against them, and that's fine. People can protest against what they disagree with if they do it. So if they're like I said, if they're lighting it on fire, then whipping it up against people. Then if you're doing it, and this guy who got arrested hours after Trump signed it, which they knew that was going to happen. I mean, it might have been, for all we know, it was staged for the PR stunt. But the guy got arrested, and he was not arrested for burning the American flag, despite what the news was. He was arrested for violating the fire laws on federal park property.
Good. Jail for a year.
He won't get jail.
But he has to
for
wait for his trial for 4 years.
Yeah. My guess is there's not going to be very many people that get arrested for this. My guess is kind of what you alluded to, and there's been some others, is it will definitely get people to burn it.
Just get your cameras ready.
And they'll be filming themselves, and they'll put it online, and then those will be turned into montages that will then be used for ads during the 2026 midterms for Republicans against that'd be a smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Why arrest? Because if you arrest them, it's going to make you look bad. If you just let them do it, and you make a montage out of it, you can say, "Look at them, they hate America," and you can do a montage of pink-haired people going, "Ah!" and so it'd be smart to let them do it and not arrest them, because
Brad,
it would help
them. I
them.
want to see him get arrested. I do. I want to see him screaming.
Yeah, deport that guy to Uganda. Yeah, and they're telling what wars are going on in Uganda over what African gods. I have no idea. Now, you know Mamdani. You know who Mamdani is?
Ham Dandy.
He sounds like the great Dandy.
Ham Dandy is his name.
Ham Dandy. What is
that?
Mamdani. Mammies. Mammogram.
Mamdani?
Yeah. Mamdani. The New York socialist clown, as bad Christian accurate. Zohran Mamdani.
He's a cruel hoax.
Sounds like a Superman villain at the beginning, Zohran. Then Mamdani.
Zohan.
Sounds like a gay magician. So there was a story of this dude the other day going to his like dude annual man week in New York, which I don't really know what that is, but he went out there and they filmed him bench pressing. He had to have help to bench press 135 pounds, right?
Dude, it was ridiculous.
Right. So I'm going to go back to what
eighth grader, a 14-year-old can bench 135 pounds.
Some could. The voter audience he's targeting, though, cannot, most likely. And I'm going to go back to the action is in your enemy's reaction. They filmed this and put this on. That's what you have to think. This was not, he didn't go there thinking he was going to be able to, I thought I could do 250. I had no idea I'm so weak. He knew exactly what he was doing. He had his own guy film it and his own guy put it online. And the reason they did it is because he was trying to trigger the reaction, exact reaction he got in the right, because he can then use that, because most people, most men cannot bench 135 pounds. If you're measuring by going to the gym, of course, those guys are, but that's not the voting audience he's going for. What he's going for are everyone else. He's going for the guy in the grocery store, the guy who is on Discord all day at home, the guy whose back has been injured his entire life. I looked up some statistics on this, and the average man who does not work out, he's a novice. Is that how you say it? No, I don't even know.
Novice?
Novice, yeah. No, thank you.
You're
Not
welcome.
novice.
Anytime, dude.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The average novice, what I previously believed to be novice, 198 pounds. They weigh 198 pounds. On average, benches between 105 and 135 pounds.
That's when that's a liberal?
No, that's the average person who doesn't work out.
Oh. Weighs
Which is
198
most people. Like
well, are they including both sexes in there?
yes.
Okay.
No,
That's crazy,
this was men. I looked up men. This is what I looked up.
Wait, they're saying a 198-pound guy who doesn't work out can only bench press how much?
Yes.
What was the max?
Between 105 and 135. And I've seen people who have never been in a gym, who are just they've been there's a lot of people that aren't very physical. They're when you are around people who are physical and you go to the gym, that's what you see and that's your sample. But that's not the sample that he's going for. Like he's not targeting the gym bros. He's not targeting the active people. He's targeting everyone else. And by going in here, he's saying they don't have a monopoly on masculinity. I can go in here and look at me. I am a politician. I've gotten to where I've gotten.
Masculinity is on a spectrum.
And look how weak I am, and therefore how masculine I am, just like all of you.
Yeah,
you two can be masculine.
He's got a weirder workout outfit than RFK Jr.
Well, he had a suit on.
He had a whole suit on.
Yeah,
he
RFK
fucking lives
Jr. in his jeans.
His jeans and boots.
Yeah, that'd be funny to have these progressively uncomfortable outfits on.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's the new thing.
Yeah. I think RFK Jr. explained that the other day. I didn't see it, but the dude that did that on purpose because he's a progressive communist socialist, whatever, and that whole people who he knew that all these dudes he knew you gotta see all these people look at what I bench. It suddenly became a bench press contest across the internet, and that's the toxic masculinity that he's running against. He's saying there's another way to be masculine, and that is the angle that they're taking. So what he did, successful or not, is he triggered.
Master.
He,
That's what he should have done.
dude, that
Show
would
us
be
how fucking
yeah.
badass
You
the
think
Thigh
well,
Master.
maybe I can't bench, but let's do a thigh master contest.
Yeah,
That'd be a good.
squeeze
That'd
that
be a good
shit.
sketch too. He moves over to the thigh master machine.
Yeah.
He's got a
You ever
bussy.
seen one of these?
Yeah, snap heads off of that shit, dude.
Yeah.
But it works for both sides because both the grift on both sides can say, look how much of a pussy he is. Look what I can bench and whatnot. And then over here, that's exactly what he wanted. That's the exact reaction he wanted because he could take that and he could say, look, we said they were just like we told you they were. And the fact is, statistically, the majority of people are like him. They're not like the people who are stronger than him, that are making fun of him. So the majority of people are being made, some of them may be Republicans, are being now made fun of by these right-leaning people that he triggered.
Well, I mean,
I know people who can't
even
bench 135 that are Republicans. And it's not because they're pussy. It's just because they've never been in a gym or they have some sort of injury or there's
that's
something.
fine. Like these are all look.
He did it on
These-
purpose, is my point. It was a stunt.
Yeah, of
And it
course.
was.
I know. Yeah. All right. So we fell for that one, Brad. All right. We're still doing
but
well.
it benefits
though. We're
also.
still doing
though.
okay.
It
We're
still
doing
benefits.
okay.
Every all of these people, it's competing PR stunts, and they both benefit from them. I'm not saying it negatively affects the right, but what I am saying is that it does help him maintain this persona that he's built up.
I want him
It
to
keeps
burn
it
an American
alive.
Flag.
You know what I mean?
I
You wanna
want
burn the
him-
American
I want
flag?
him to burn an American flag.
He'll probably rap one. He'll probably be doing that thigh master,
Yeah.
and he'd be shooting fire out of that bussy.
Master going.
I should be friends with weaklings. He says with arms like I should be friends with weaklings. I have to keep them in my orbit. No, It was funny. I was at the gym today, and I was like, man, maybe I'll make a video, dude. Maybe I'll make a video. I'll just do a selfie, and I'll be like, what a fucking pussy that guy is. And
Yeah, make a video. Yeah, make a video, and then go over and confront one of the guys for checking you out.
Yeah, dude.
Excuse me, bro.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, dude.
Can't just work out.
Shit ain't free, you know?
Yeah.
It is. So you go to LA Fitness, man, and it's like, I look around and I'm like, these guys have jobs? They're here. Doesn't matter the time of day I come. The same group of guys are always here, and they can all bench 400 pounds. They just stay here all day, and they're all a little greasy. And yeah, it's I don't know.
Instead of LA Fitness, they should come out with like some Texas brand should come out with like a Texas Fitness.
Yeah. Because LA Fitness is really a lot like LA. It's completely dilapidated now. It's people have fled, and there's shit all over the floor.
Yeah, LA Fitness was always a pain in the ass to work out at. I just have a Planet Hollywood, not Planet. I keep saying Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, I used to work out at Planet Hollywood. I used to work out at
because they have the cardio, because it's all cardio equipment.
Yeah.
It's all cardio stuff there. So
yeah. So what my
$10
favorite
a month.
My favorite part is trying to navigate into the bathroom without seeing old dong flopping everywhere at LA Fitness. It's like
Dude,
there's a
go
group.
to the YMCA if you want to see some fucking.
What
Dude,
it's
if you
like,
wanna feed
what is it about that? It's like,
handfuls of old dong.
mouthfuls,
Go down to the
you know?
Y, dude.
Yeah. It's not buttfuls of it. Yeah,
And those guys at the Y, dude, they just like, hey, it's time to let it all hang out again, right, Jerry?
Right,
And
it's
they
like,
fucking
yeah,
walk around,
but,
they just
hey,
chill out.
Could you
swing
get your
dicks.
old balls off
Dude,
of my
it's
locker? My
insane.
lock. I seriously went in one time at LA Fitness, and there's this old ass dude with his ass like on the lock I had put on. I'm like, get your ass off of my lock, dude.
Nah, dude, I'm getting my ass. I'm scratching
No,
my ass.
that's
on
the
your
point.
lock.
I'm trying to open it.
Old men don't have any asses anymore. It's gonna happen to all
trying
of
to
us.
open-
It just all of a sudden your ass just goes away, and you just have a leg all the way up to your waist.
And then you feel you need to show it to everyone.
Yeah.
That I don't understand the comfort level. Maybe it's a different cultural thing, but and they love to talk about Trump. I'll tell you that. You can find 12 naked old dudes talking about Trump in the LA Fitness bathroom at any time of the day. It's great. So you saw Cracker Barrel went back already?
Wait, they put the cracker back on the barrel?
Yeah. Well, I just saw the story right before the show, and I'll show you the
That's
headline.
So funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
It's
Well, I
amazing
didn't
that it
even.
became such a big story. Cracker Barrel, by the way, Cracker Barrel fucking sucks.
It has gone downhill.
The only thing good, I will give it this: on Sundays, you got to go down there for the Cracker Barrel fried chicken.
I think
That
it's
shit,
pussy.
dude, it's better than pussy.
Yeah.
The Cracker Barrel fried chicken.
I hadn't been there in a
rivals
while. I used to love
pussy. It's
Cracker
really
Barrel.
Good. It's really good. They have good fried chicken.
What seemed strange to me was that because their whole like Cracker Barrel shop, that's where they made a lot of money. People would love I remember me and you going up to New York where we stopped and we picked up like a book on CD or something like that.
That's
like,
right.
Remember? And you could drop it off at
Yeah, that's right. You could drop it off at another Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just seemed weird but I guess they're putting it all back. Yeah, this was like right before the show started. Cracker Barrel will go back to old logo after conservative backlash. I mean, it was like a week, dude.
We wanted it to be a Cracker Barrel that everyone can enjoy. There's only one type of person that goes to your fucking restaurant, lady.
Yeah, right, and like, I don't know if you saw the thing where they had all these gay guys in New York eating the food and
Gay guys are eating the food in New York?
Well,
What?
they had a bunch of guys, so they changed the logo, and then they had all these like gayish influencers to come out and try it for the first time.
Try all this great home style cooking.
I don't know what the reasoning behind it was, but their
Look
stock,
at this fried okra.
yeah, their stock is so fried.
It's so cute.
It's Steve is gonna serve it to me. Yeah, the what is it?
Dumpling.
Yeah, the reversal came like after the stock dropped or whatnot, but the stock will go up now, which
And they have
again,
the mind, the mind puzzle with the little golf tees on the trunk.
Yeah, I loved those.
Come on,
those
man.
are.
I bet that bitch tried to get rid of that too.
Probably they turn those little things into dicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Trump, Bad Christian says, show the logo with Trump. Let me see if I can find it. It says somebody made a Cracker Barrel. Okay, that's funny. Here, I found one of them right here. Have you seen this, Ian? Of course, the news is probably is Fox News.
I wonder if do you know who should be catering Travis and Kelsey's wedding? I mean, Taylor's wedding. Cracker Barrel.
Fucking Smoothie King, dude.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. All right. I don't think they would. I think that they would.
Dude, they would win over America.
No,
Just have it at Cracker
the
Barrel.
slutty vegan is gonna cater their wedding.
I think they should burn the American flag at the Super Bowl.
They
halftime
should.
Show.
I was gonna say it there. Instead of the Jewish people step on glass, I thought like Travis
Oh, that's funny. That's a good
and
one.
Taylor should burn the American flag when they get married.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Let me see if I can make
Yeah.
it bigger. It's funny.
That's
So there's a bunch of versions of it, but
That's cute. The internet's hilarious.
it's so quick too.
It really is
America
fast.
first. There it is. There it is. So I'd be interested to see if Cracker Barrel's stock goes up higher than it was before they did this.
I gotta be honest. I was thinking about. Oh, Brad, I gotta go soon. Sorry, I was just looking
All
at
right.
the time.
You got to go to Cracker Barrel.
I gotta go Cracker Barrel.
All right. Before I do do you have how much time do you have? You got a
5
couple minutes.
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
All right. Well, let's see if we can find I had a couple fun stories here. Get rid of that one. Break Room Writer says, why I made a 45-second movie, and you should too. It's this whole movement of making 45-second movies. Are you into that?
Sure. Let's check that out. I'm actually.
It's just about they've been doing this down at the Limelight, this 1-minute movie contest. It's just this idea of, I guess, short attention span, so you don't have to worry
Dude,
about
it's a perfect idea.
story or and you should too.
I'm just gonna scream while I burn a flag for a full minute.
There you go. And nobody knows how it ends. Do you get arrested or did you do it legally? There's a freedom in short filmmaking that I love. There's no set structure, no box office pressures, no need to return on investment. There's no not far to fall. So why not give yourself the space to find out what the thing you want to make is? So what would you say to that? There's no profit. I would also add to that.
Yeah, no, short films are just for exercises. I mean, it's honestly
Microfilms, they call these.
Yeah, microfilms. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. When I was, there's a writing exercise like doing the short story. That's always the most. I always found that the most challenging stories to write. You have to really rethink what a story. So it can be good, but what's your audience for 1-minute short films other than other filmmakers? So it's
Do you
fun.
need this? Look at all these people that made this 45-second film here.
Yep. Looks like about where is that? Where is this?
This is called the Break Room Team, and let's see if it says where it is. So it's a festival circuit. They have a festival circuit with a break room. This is this production company making these 45-second. But can you make your pilot into a feature? I've heard a lot of conversation about that. Is it short?
I think you should just go ahead and try to make your feature. There's other ways to do it too.
which is going to be like I think 72 seconds.
Yeah.
I was hit with then it goes into the story. I was hit with extreme depression in 2021 after I got a new IUD put in.
Oh my God, me too. Preach it, sister.
What is this turn of events in the story?
This is what I can't fucking stand. Liberals, like this whole, we can't get into it now, but we have got to bash this whole Mark Maron.
Oh my God. Yeah,
running
dude.
his fucking mouth.
He's
such a
fag,
fucking
dude.
idiot.
He is.
This
He is a
idea
fag.
that liberals have that their jokes and their stories are going to save the world is preposterous. It's so stupid. If we had a post-apocalyptic compound, yeah, having a good storyteller there would be important.
It wouldn't be Mark Mellon. Mark
Not,
Maron.
not before food and shelter. Way lower
way
on
in
the
the back.
fucking list of priorities.
And it wouldn't be as somebody as.
And this is someone who I enjoy telling stories. I love the craft, but it doesn't save lives. And don't use it to try to change the world.
And
Fucking
Mark Maron's
dorks.
energy is negative. It always has been. You know,
What the fuck?
we saw him at Relapse. He came to Relapse.
Yeah. He's always very negative, and he's been getting a lot of attention over this lately.
He was interviewed by the Pod Save America Bros, which is a AstroTurf podcast that these guys were the Obama speechwriters. So they see him as he's being propped up for a reason right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Background artists unite. It's old Reginald.
That's Reginald. Yeah, Reginald bringing them he brought them together.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Reginald would hate what I just said. He would faint if he heard someone.
I can't believe you and Reginald hadn't been able to be on the same show at the same time. It's just.
I remember getting chastised for explaining to someone. I heard two people talking about a rape scene on Game of Thrones backstage. And they were talking about it as if they were like, I cannot believe they showed that on TV. Like it was like listening to two evangelical Christians talk about heavy metal back in the 80s. Like Iron Maiden had been on the Tonight Show, and they're like, I can't believe they had Iron Maiden. But that's the way they were talking.
Can't believe they had a rape scene.
Yeah, this rape scene. And I said, it was fake, right?
And they said.
Like,
You're such a misogynist.
And one of them, after I kind of went back and forth, one of them said to me, Ian, I think you're underestimating the power of narrative. And I said,
shut the fuck
no, I think
up.
you're overestimating the
Did
power
you
of
headbutt
narrative.
that person in the face? That's who you
No.
should.
I didn't. It was that person was someone you and I both
No,
know.
I imagine. I instantly imagine that line being delivered by somebody.
Yeah. You know this person very well who said that to me.
Am
Chastised
I
me.
am I
for
in
not
a group
understanding
with
the
that
power of
person?
narrative. What?
Am I in a group with that person? An improv group?
You were.
Yeah.
Are, I guess. It's still.
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
A Bad Christian says break room. Talking about that girl we showed a moment ago. Break room talent. That girl looks like she's from the lunchroom team.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. And Ian, you have to go. Thank you
I
for
do.
joining us.
Dude, it was super fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was good discussing, going back and forth with you. It was
Yeah.
fun. And I'll leave you on top Republican secret sex contract with transgender escort revealed as. I love that they say revealed, and you could stop there,
Dude.
really. But they said revealed as dirty.
How many awesome words can you put in the same headline?
I know, so many.
So many great words. Like bravo to the person who wrote that headline.
It's all
That is a
sensation. It's
good
all
one.
tabloid bullshit.
That's a good one.
But thank you, Ian.
Good night,
and-
everyone. It was super fun.
Yeah, it was.
Later,
we
buddy.
will do
I'll
it
see
again
you Thursday.
Later, dude.
All right, bye.
See ya. All right, I'll go through this quickly, and then I will go into the CIA morale manual part 3, which is some more interesting stuff. So, this Daily Mail article headline: exclusive. Top Republicans seek sex contract with transgender escort revealed as dirty BDSM habit is laid bare. Yeah, they really love to just indulge, make a meal of it with those headlines. You know what they say with actors, they really make a meal of a line. That's what they do with these headlines, as Ian was referencing. Read more. Secret gay sex scandal explodes in the Republican Party. Again, so this article, not a lot of evidence to support what they're saying, although what they're saying, I believe, when it comes to the left or right, I believe all these politicians are involved in a lot of this. Yeah, it's just, there was 2 stories last year of videos that were released briefly and then taken offline that showed people in Congress, lesser known, that aren't talked about as much, having gay sexual relations with one of their pages. And then it's quickly taken off. I think I can't remember which platform, TikTok or something, it was put on or maybe Snap. Maybe that's what it was. One of the ones that can disappear real quickly. And then the page or the intern involved quickly is moved to somewhere else, but they're given a promotion for their silence because you couldn't see the face. All these people are freaks, man, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, bad politician. All politicians are into weird sex stuff. And so that's why a story like this has plausibility, yet, you know, everybody's an anonymous source, but we'll go through it anyway just because it's entertaining. Washington, D.C.'s most secretive sex workers. How do you determine that? They're obviously not the most secretive because they're talking to you. The ones that are the most secretive, you haven't spoken with. The most secretive sex workers say they're being paid thousands of dollars for late night tryst. Oh, I can't say that word right. With the very same Republican lawmakers who publicly rail against them. In a series of bombshell interviews with the Daily Mail, I love that angle thrown in. Transgender escorts in the nation's capital reveal buttoned-up GOP officials are among the most loyal and discreet customers. So this is going after the GOP. I don't think this is limited to any single party, this type of thing. There's not one side going, oh, no, I'm very conservative with my sex. You guys are the freaks. I think they're all the freaks. The revelations mark the latest in a stream of sex scandals for the Republican Party and come as the Trump administration takes a tough stand against trans people in areas such as military and sports. So I agree with the sports stance. When it comes to the military, as long as you can pass the physical standards, like the physical standards and training should be high, then like, I mean, as long as you're not doing weird shit, I guess. But anybody who's going to go do that, if that's what they want to do. They absolutely demonize us in public, quote, this is a quote, but use us behind closed doors, said one of the women, who advertises herself online as a $1,000 per hour curvy blonde trans girl who has tens of thousands of followers on X and OnlyFans. This is a little messed up. So they could have linked X, right? You see here on the screen, OnlyFans is in blue. X is not clickable. I could click on OnlyFans, maybe thinking it would take me to this person's page. It won't. It'll just take you to OnlyFans, I guess. So my guess is that the Daily Mail is getting advertising money per click on that OnlyFans. That's exactly what's going on. They're getting per-click advertising from OnlyFans. That's what this article is probably for, partly. I ain't clicking on that. But they get money every time it's a pay-per-click. Every time somebody clicks on that, thinking they're going to see who this trans girl is. Everything's a con, man. Everything. This is a story that needs to be told, quote. Her account was echoed by others in the Capitol's underground sex scene. I'm sure that the D.C. underground sex scene is just debauchery and disgusting. Who described a world of NDAs, covert messages, and hotel suites where prominent Republicans indulge in precisely the same behavior they attack on the campaign trail. The lawmakers are also understood to use Grindr and other hookup apps and to pay sex workers in cash or through encrypted transfer apps to avoid detection. So they use Grindr, but they pay in cash to avoid detection. Those two things don't match up. They use online dating that leaves a trail, but they use cash. One escort who calls herself a thick body goddess told Daily Mail she was aware of a lot of juicy dirt taking place after dark around Capitol Hill. And this must be a kind of a little bit of screened out image of the thick body goddess. Not sure if this is a trans or not. And this image has this thick body goddess kneeling I guess ironically, into what appears to be a pile, not a pile, but a bunch of $100 bills, which probably aren't real. She's kneeling in cash, and she's holding cash up against her breast and her vagina/penis. I'm not sure. Somebody should ask Lindsey Graham. And there's another pixelated image. So the male to female sex workers under this image said Republican lawmakers paid tens of thousands of dollars for. Okay, I'm sure Democrat lawmakers did too. But prostitution's a real thing, and politicians are probably the most likely to engage in it. Several government officials are doing dirty shit. Said a $600 per hour escort who says she has offered her menu of sex and bondage to GOP members of both the Senate and the House of Representatives. Okay. She's offered it. Did she testify on Capitol Hill? When did she make this offer? The women declined to... See, they say women, but I'm confused now if it's women or trans women. The women declined to name names, obviously, citing strict confidentiality agreements. But one of them does get a little detailed here in a second. At least one said she was bound by a legally enforceable NDA with a prominent conservative. I wish I could, but I am under an NDA. All I can tell you is that you're definitely on the right track. And this is a story that needs to be told. The revelations come at a politically charged... Every moment is a politically charged moment. I hate that phrase. A politically charged moment. That's every moment in the modern society. Because everything has to be politically charged in order to continue to divide and conquer the public. Blah, blah, blah. Talking about Trump's transgender policy. I love how they weave transgender policy in here. Try to weave politics into this tabloid story. Here's another pixelated photo. Well, the GOP lawmakers publicly champion those measures. They're going to say they're anti-trans measures from Trump. That's what they're going to say. The Daily Mail will just... Daily Mail is one of those... Might as well be on the rack where the Snickers bars are at Kroger. Some of the same politicians were privately paying for the companionship of trans sex workers. It's just very general and not... give us a little more details here. That's what's interesting about this, is when something is plausible like this, is these publications can write salacious articles and include photos like that. Those could be real people. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe they're AI. We have no idea. They put the pixelated images. And people's confirmation bias want to believe one thing or another. And they can get a bunch of traction on this article, and they have all their ads embedded in the article, which is going to generate a bunch of money for them based on something that very well could be completely fabricated. But because it's so plausible, they can get away with it. They are chicks with dicks, says Bad Christian. Funky Cole Medina, you know. Who's that, Tone Loc that did that? It's a good song. The Daily Mail has chosen not to identify them. Okay. Thanks, Dan. You're protecting your source. We're protecting our sources, says the Daily Mail. And there's some images. There's some she-male escorts, I guess. This is just bullshit. These are pixelated images they probably pulled from anywhere. But they say, the Daily Mail does. Why is that? Hold on. I don't know why this article's like over to the right. I can't read any of it for some reason. In recent decades, a string of controversial conservative lawmakers and staffers have been in gay sex scandals. Well, The whole idea is that Republicans are gay if they vote against the gay stuff. Yeah, we get it. This is as old as time. In a candid interview, young muscular sex workers in Washington, D.C. described, I can't tell what that says. It won't let me scroll over for some reason. Young muscular sex workers in D.C. described a booming business fueled by Republican officials from state lawmakers to high-powered lobbyists and federal government staffers and at least one congressman. One Washington-based male escort described having a 2-year relationship with a sitting Midwestern congressman who during that period had multiple serious girlfriends and had recently become engaged to a woman. The congressman, who recently became engaged, paid for a full boyfriend experience. He paid for a full boyfriend experience, which is a more intimate service that involved chats and dates as well as sex. Okay, this is stupid. This is like AI really. Not that I disbelieve it. I don't. But I think that this is just... I'm so... I guess cynical when it comes to any story I see nowadays. All those things are plausible. I mean, we see James O'Keefe. Who he just goes on gay dates all the time and then acts like he's breaking news. Rarely breaks anything of actual substance that hasn't been seen before. Then goes and DJs, whatever. Can't hate the player. You got to hate the game. The game is a grift, and that's the game. Success in politics, you have to be a successful grifter. The art of the con, not at a street level, but at a formal political level, genuine acting and con artistry is what we see all around. That doesn't mean that truths aren't told. It doesn't mean that there aren't authentic actors involved occasionally. But the standard in our lifetime, and definitely right now, is deception and lies. Lies sandwiched in between truths to gain trust. Maybe sometimes the direction that these lies are taking us, we might agree with. But for me, the fact that we're told lies because they prefer not to have our opinion or our input, they prefer to get us to agree to go along where they already decided they want us to go, pisses me off. And that's the whole game. The whole game is we know what we want to do. And it may very well be against the best interest of a lot of these people whose public opinion approval we need to accomplish it. We need to convince them that they chose this thing that might not be in their best interest so that we can get what we predetermined. And they can't always get it because a lot of people their eyes are open to that. But tribalism. This is why I question the stuff that Trump does. People get mad at me. Okay, I'm like the least progressive left-wing Democrat that anybody's ever met, and I think Trump is funny, and I think he's a charming guy, and I want to like him. I want to be on board quite often, which is exactly why I have to question the shit he does harder than I ever would question the shit the other side does, because they're not going to manipulate me. I see through their shit. I'm ready to see through their shit, which means it's the content you have to analyze, not the sources. If we rely on the sources telling us, then we're going to be manipulated. The point is, that's why I go hard at Trump right now, because I'm his target audience. And he's good at what he does. And I can't just trust the plan. It's against my nature to just trust the plan. It does feel like there are tests going on right now to see what people will accept and what they won't accept. all in all, before doing the CIA stuff, truth sandwich. That's right, Dana. Truth sandwich. That's exactly what it is. I believe in people, honestly. This leads perfectly into the CIA OSS stuff. And I believe that the people are divided so that their energies can be used against each other. And this is the third part in my OSS Morale Field Manual installment. Past couple weeks, if you want to see the first two parts of it, one last week, part 2, then part 1, I think is a week before. The audio in the one last week is not great because we had some audio issues, but I did fix that this week, so this one will be better. But let's go to the OSS Field Manual here, and then we'll get out of here. All right. So here we go. OSS Field Manual. This is page 45. Just to show again, for people who are new, Morale Field Operations Manual, Strategic Services, OSS Archives. This you can find this on the CIA.gov website. The OSS is what the CIA was, what it used to be called, predated the CIA. And this field manual is for operatives in the field to conduct morale operations, which involves deception, division, chaos. It goes along with the simple sabotage manual that many people are familiar with. A lot of people aren't familiar with this one. Let me get down to the... So last week, I read through some of the tactical operations strategies, which were very interesting. It's interesting when you read this stuff because we see a lot of the manipulation stuff going on right now, and they're describing it to a T. And this was like 1945 or 46. And we also are told by the media that Russia and other countries are doing these manipulative tactics against us, and we would never do these things. And yet, this is our intel agency describing very specifically and in detail the things that nearly 100 years later we're being told that we would never do, that only others would do to us. I think that most reasonable people understand that all countries do these things to each other, which is why they shouldn't tell us that they don't do it. It's the insulting of our collective intelligence that I think people are getting a little fed up with. Obviously, war is deception. It says it in the game. The art of war is just... Let's see. Hold on. Get to the right page here. Page 45. Okay. It's a little too big there. All right, here we go. So this time we're talking about operational plans. It's tactical last time. This is operational. And this section describes the subversive operations which may be especially suitable in carrying out the strategic task of morale operations. And going down here to the first operational plan. Where the F? Sorry, I'm losing my place here. Okay. Is that the right page? All right, here we go. Sorry. It's getting a little... All right. The first operational plans within the enemy country. Dividing the enemy. You're targeting the enemy country. Dividing the enemy is this subsection. Number 1. The mission is to destroy unity among enemy groups and people by alienating group from group, people from leaders, and nation from nation. A divided home front, and a split between enemy nationals are major factors in enemy collapse. Number 2, divisive activities are most profitably carried on with greatest intensity following enemy military reverses or domestic crisis, since at these times, dormant splits begin to reappear. These divisive activities, whether on a local or on an international scale, concentrate on exploiting long-standing cleavages and issues. That certainly sounds familiar in America. It's as old as time. The divide and rule strategy is as old as time. Number 3, the following activities serve to divide group from group, and then they list activities. Launching subversive radio press or rumor programs which attack one group, e.g. the Army, but do not attack and may even defend another group, e.g. the party. I think we see a lot of that. The next one is planting evidence of treason on political or military, sending compromising, decipherable messages by radio or telegram, having the individual in question receive especially favorable mention in clandestine leaflets, which will be picked up by the police, arranging leaks in neutral countries by diplomatic personnel, revealing that selected individuals can be depended upon, arranging leaks. That's interesting. And then the next one is spreading evidence to show that the big industrialists are profiteering. Spreading rumors that army divisions drawn from politically difficult areas are being sent to the most dangerous fronts. Spreading rumors that more members of a given group or class have surrendered or deserted to allied forces than others. And then it says minor leaders of a political or economic group which have grievance against other groups should be encouraged by bribery and persuasion to take a militant stand against the offending group. And read that one again. Minor leaders of a political or economic group which have grievances against other groups should be encouraged by bribery and persuasion to take a militant stand against the offending group. The possibility of simultaneously encouraging and bribing the second group to similar aggressive action should be investigated. The possibility of simultaneously encouraging and bribing the second group to similar... So bribing both groups to pit them against each other. That's crazy. I mean, it's not. It's obvious, but it still seems crazy to hear it so plainly stated. Number 4, tactics that divide people from leaders are spreading rumors that leaders are protecting their future by buying securities and durable goods in neutral countries, arranging for agents actually to purchase money, jewels or precious works of art in a neutral capital, then letting it leak that these are being bought for prominent leaders, introducing into the enemy country picture postal cards of famous castles, villas, and in the descriptive paragraph including such sentences as, quote, the recently purchased villa in Sweden of Herr von Ribbentrop is very similar in architectural design to this beautiful building. So that's like a typical headline where they associate something that will be received in a specific way with the political figure that they want to be viewed negatively or positively or whatever. So like you plug in like Trump or something here. You try and portray eliteness and whatnot. The next one says the next tactic of, what was it again? The tactics that divide people from leaders. The next one was spreading subversive songs, jokes, cartoons which attack the government, sending tips to the secret police of alleged hoarding and black market operations, circulating reports that deplore or command the brilliance or of methods by which the sons of relatives of officials are avoiding the draft, getting easy jobs, buying restricted food. Hi, JC. OMG, hi, JC. Number 5, where authentic evidence is available that some leaders are engaged in one or more of the illegal actions described above, Opportunities should be put in their way for expanding these activities to be followed by exposure of blackmail. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's obvious, but so if we think they're engaged in such activities, let's bring them more opportunities to engage in these activities for the purpose of then later exposing them. Number 6, to divide nation from nation, the following activities are effective. Exploiting incidents in which friction occurs between Axis soldiers from different countries. Provoking fights and brawls wherever different Axis nationals come together. Circulating reports that the reason for moving prisoners of war from one camp to another is enmity between the nationals. Circulating rumors and reports of all cases in which forces of the stronger Axis countries desert the troops of the weaker Axis members. Circulating statistics of disproportionate casualties of the different nationals. When troops of one country are quartered in another Axis area, exploiting all social problems. Exploiting all social problems, especially sexual, which inevitably arise, increase of juvenile delinquency, adultery, pregnancy, venereal diseases, circulating in one enemy country, political statements, jokes and satires derogatory to it, which are ascribed to the nationals of the other. I'm going to read that again because they kind of crammed all that in there. And this is in the context of how to divide a nation from a nation. In the OSS CIA Morale Field Manual. When troops of one country are quarantined in another Axis area, exploiting all social problems, especially sexual, which inevitably arise, increase of juvenile delinquency, adultery, pregnancy, venereal diseases, circulating in one enemy country, political statements, jokes and satires, derogatory to it, which are ascribed to the nationals of the other. I mean, this is just an antagonist. This is just a shit starter right here. Be a shit starter of the highest degree is what they're saying to do. B, inducing panic in enemy populations. These motherfuckers. Number 1, the mission is to augment feelings of insecurity, anxiety, and panic in enemy civilian population. Such a program is especially desirable just before a military offensive. But even when a battle is not imminent, neurotic anxiety adds greatly to the political and administrative problems of the enemy. Further, the mental state of the civilians at home inevitably is communicated to men at the front through letters or via soldiers returning from furloughs, and thus a panicky civilian population helps to demoralize soldiers in combat zones. This is 100 years ago almost, or 80. And the level of psychological manipulation, I mean, the psyop here. I mean, this is the stuff that's obviously going on right now, but what level have they taken it to with all of the access to our minds, to our screens and everything with modern technology? Number 2, operations are preferred which augment normal fright reactions to war events, such as inducing sympathizers to scream hysterically in factories and shelters during air raids or upon the publication of casualty lists, distributing small clandestine leaflets purporting to tell how to avoid alleged horrible consequences of incessant bombings, insanity, and feeble-mindedness, stunting of growth, various nervous disorders, sexual impotency or frigidity, sterility, miscarriage, deafness, blindness, spreading information on the methods of avoiding these terrible effects, say by recommending going to a doctor within 24 hours after a bombing of examination, whether the person appears injured or not. Bad Christian says, I do not believe this, Brad. We, the CIA, would never do that. LOL. Of course not. Of course not. Number 3, one of the most disorganizing civilian anxieties is the belief that there exists a widespread fifth column group. I guess that's like the deep state. That there is no one whose loyalty one can have faith. To exploit this fear is dangerous, as it may result in reprisals on bona fide agents and sympathizers. When, however, a hysterical state can be so fostered that the mob action can be turned on civilians, not in the underground, then this work is most effective. So that's interesting. Again, one of the most disorganizing civilian anxieties is the belief that there exists a widespread fifth column, that there is no one in whose loyalty one can have faith, which I believe that's. I believe the content and analyzing information is the strongest path. But then it says to exploit this fear is dangerous. And it's dangerous. So they see that it's dangerous. Because if people believe that, then they don't have the trust influence that the World Economic Forum has talked about having to regain. So that's an acknowledgement that they still are making 80 years later, and attempting to use it against, while acknowledging that being in that position is a weak position for them. C, a couple more, then we'll get out of here. Strengthening the enemy civilians' desire for peace and raising false hopes. Jesus. The mission is to subvert the fighting spirit of the enemy civilians by causing them to agitate for peace and by raising false hopes. Any degree of success not only adds to the crippling of enemy civilian war work, but communicates poor morale to the fighting forces. Number 2, enemy civilians who are susceptible to peace stimuli can be divided into 2 general categories. A, those who are resistant to the regime and who use pacifist propaganda as a cover to excuse their activities and protect them from charges of treason. And B, those who are loyal to the regime but sincerely desire peace. Number 3, to exploit both of these groups, clandestine agitation for peace should be kept on a lofty plane. It should not be complicated by tirades against enemy leaders. It should not be suspect as originating outside the country. Peace is urged as a desirable end in and of itself. 2 major lines of action may be employed: playing up the horrors of war and exploiting the pacifist or religious attitudes of the civilians. They exploit every angle. Number 5, for the horror approach, subversive pictures, for example, may be circulated of burned and mutilated soldiers asking, will your son or husband be next? This is atrocity propaganda, what they're talking about here. Save him from this by demanding peace. These pictures should be distributed ostensibly, say by a peace society made of enemy underground nationals. The maimed and crippled may be encouraged to display themselves in public as much as possible. This is crazy. A rumor may be spread that a certain shrine in a large city has miraculously cured war injured. All war injured are encouraged to make pilgrimages to that shrine. That's like an old school, like, you see revivalist healing. You see those in the movies where they heal the person. It feels like that with that recommendation. Number 6, I think there's 10 of these. Religious pacifism is exploited by suggestion. For example, numerous small crosses may be distributed with a single word peace written thereon. A rumor may be spread that because of the appearance of a certain saint who also appeared shortly after the end of the last war, thousands of women are now praying for peace at noon every day, that being the hour designated by the saint. Reports may be circulated that certain women who have prayed for peace at a certain shrine in a large city have miraculously been spared death in the family. So they're just trying to corner the market on deception here. Number 7, desire and action. Desire and action for peace will be increased if enemy civilians are made to believe that there is real evidence that peace is within immediate reach. It is important that such evidence be confined to enemy territory. For example, reports may be circulated that engineers are already planning the conversion of enemy factories to peacetime production. I wonder how they've modernized this, because some of this stuff you can see what they're doing, but people are too wise to a lot of this at this point. So I wonder what their next measures are right now. Number 8, when the object of circulating evidence of peace is raising of false hope, is the raising of false hopes, it is necessary that the hopes raised be proved in due course to be actually false. They're just trying to crush people. The natural course of events may provide such proof. However, it is best to plan for the pricking of the bubble whenever possible. This may be accomplished 2 ways. A, by circulating the evidence of peace at an appropriate interval before the occurrence of an actual event secretly known to the OSS, which will prove the first reports of peace to be false. This is like a false flag, essentially. B, by following the first evidence of peace after an appropriate interval by new evidence which proves the first reports to be untrue. See, I think people just assume nowadays that when they say there's peace that it's not true. Like, I think people are beyond believing those types of things. All right, let me see how much longer this section has. Okay, just one more page here for today's section. For today's very uplifting section from the OSS field morale manual. I mean, they're giving these manuals to soldiers and telling this is what they need to do to people. I mean, you got to be like a little bit of a sociopath to be kind of okay with this. Sorry, I lost my place here. All right, there it was. Okay. D, subverting enemy civilian populations during a group offensive. Number 1, the mission is twofold. First, during offensive action in enemy home territory, to create such confusion and panic among civilians as will disrupt enemy military action and demoralize his troops. And second, to invite cooperation of war-weary civilians with our own invading forces so as to decrease our own military problems. So, win over those people who are tired of it and confuse and panic the rest, I guess. 2, demoralization and terrorization. Demoralization and terrorization attacks on civilian populations in enemy countries can, if not immediately followed through by military conquest, have the unintended effect of consolidating the group, improving its morale, and making it more determined than ever. Therefore, all-out terroristic operations should be carried out in the areas that compromise the immediate objective of our armed forces. Number 3, when the proper time and place have been determined, sympathizers and agents may be instructed to create false air raid alarms, start street fighting and riots, spread rumors. Yeah, so you remember when everybody says, oh, look at those people who are starting all those Black Lives Matter riots or the January 6th. Why are they wearing all black? Why do they appear to be operatives? That's what this sounds like to me. False air raids, start street fights and riots, spread rumors that the town will be utterly destroyed by bombings, that Allied paratroopers have already landed in certain sections of the town, that enemy forces at one point have been utterly destroyed, that the enemy military have planted mines in all the city streets. These people are just chaos architects, and that all the water's been polluted. Number 4, at this time, a bribed police force is of a particular value for augmenting a bribed police force. There you go. For augmenting or for not interfering with such disorders as may occur. So pay off the cops to not stop the chaos, to stand by. Further, at this time, the police force is particularly susceptible to bribery and subversion, since the police force knows it must remain in town after the enemy troops have evacuated it, and will therefore be ready to be persuaded to change sides. Number 5, a terrorized civilian group threatened with the devastation of military action will, unless provided with a feasible and hopeful means of escape and positive courses of action to implement it, develop a back-to-the-wall attitude and become dangerously consolidated adversary. All feasible subversive means of providing hope should therefore be employed. For example, reports of fair treatment which other enemy civilians have received at the hands of our forces may be circulated. Specific methods of signifying capitulation should be clandestinely circulated, such as staying indoors, displaying signs, flags, reporting hidden stores. Sounds like some COVID shit there. And finally, this is the last one, number 6. Frequently, during ground operations directed against an inhibited point, terrorization can be employed to exploit the tendency of the population to flee from such towns or cities. It's possible, through the use of rumors, both to speed up such pell-mell evacuation and to direct it along roads which enemy would rather keep open and free from civilian traffic. Wow, that was diabolical from the OSS. They're architects of chaos. This is why I don't trust anything coming from mainstream sources. That's the biggest takeaway for me. Is they're all full of shit and they're trying to scramble our brains up. Of course, this is at wartime, but these tactics are available. But what's good about it is that they're human too, and they're pussies. And they're not a monolith. These are all humans. They try to train people into being machines to carry this stuff out, but they can't do it. That's why they have people like Jeffrey Epstein try and fund a brainwashing operation going on in this country, which nobody actually talks about, which is the real Epstein files. But they have to keep changing and trying all these different things because they haven't figured it out completely. I don't even think they're close, honestly. They pursue transhumanism because they want to be better than the humans. They want to have an ability to control with these improved abilities that they want to have, turn themselves into cyborgs or whatever. But they have failed to do that. And so therefore they are human like we are. And they are individually, they are pussies who are weak, who probably can't bench 135 pounds. Who probably sweat way too much. Like what's this? Look at this thing. I thought this is funny. I'll watch this. Peter Thiel. I don't know, whatever you think about Peter Thiel. So many people talk about Peter Thiel in the context of the Antichrist. I don't really get into those discussions much. I don't know. A lot of people have been called the Antichrist. A lot of candidates for the Antichrist. It could be a game show. Who is the Antichrist? Is it Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos? I was going to say that redhead comedian chick, but I can't remember her name. It was going to be the punchline, but forgot her name. who's looking a little rough right now. I guess I could have said Rosie O'Donnell. I don't know. A lot of candidates. I don't know how you know, but Peter Thiel, almost like an overcompensation, despite being accused of being the Antichrist by a number of people, has been like, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Bill Gates, thank you. Bill Gates, another possibility. He said, you know, I'm going to do a 4-part lecture series on the Antichrist. Look at this picture of him. Look at this picture of Peter Thiel. This is the official site. It's a sold-out event. It's going to happen at the Commonwealth Club in San Francisco, California, Monday, September 15th from 5:30 to 9:30. Is that all 4 parts in one sitting, or is that a part an hour, or is this part 1? Well, this is like a headshot that was taken 25 years ago. He's not even sweating. He doesn't. I mean, they're going to need a lot of rags underneath that podium for this guy. Important. Tickets include all events. Okay, so this is just a first event. So he's doing 4 hours a night. That's 16 hours, I guess. Non-refundable. You are warmly invited to a series of 4 lectures by Peter Thiel addressing the topic of the biblical Antichrist. Peter's a technology entrepreneur and investor. Spent much of his career writing and speaking about how his Christian faith informs his understanding of the world. His remarks will be anchored on science and technology, and he will comment on the theology, history, and literature and politics of the Antichrist. Religious thinkers upon whom Peter will draw include Rene Girard, Francis Bacon, Jonathan Swift, not to be confused with Taylor, Carl Schmitt, and John Henry Newman. These lectures are off the record. We're not even going to be able to hear what he says. They're off the record. He could admit to being the Antichrist. It's like Chatham House rules. The lectures are designed as a cohesive series with each session building upon the last. To support continuity and community, tickets are only available for the full program. I wonder how much they cost. Oh, drinks and dessert. There you go. I wonder what the desserts are. I wonder how old the desserts are. Probably young desserts. Organized by a nonprofit called the Collective Acknowledging Christ in Technology and Society. Isn't the idea of someone who is a Christian spread the word of God and Jesus? Do you think Jesus was like, look, we're going to have a talk, guys, but it's going to be off the record? All right, disciples, this discussion of our faith is going to go on Chatham House rules. No recordings. You can generally state what happened, but if you quote any of us, Jesus or any of the disciples, we will deny what was said because, again, we're operating by the Chatham House rules. Tickets are $66.66, probably. The dessert is devil's food cake. Yeah, with a some infused adrenochrome. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna figure out Christ and religion and technology, but it's gonna be off the record, okay? And guess what? This picture's not gonna look anything like me. I mean, what? This is the most ridiculous. This looks nothing like him. All right, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for today. Very uplifting. That CIA morale manual thing is crazy. It is interesting because they continue to trial this stuff, but they have they're so out of touch with humanity. So they do have some successes, but they're so removed from the society and the people, the public that they try and influence. And they depend on us. They depend on the people. That's why they spend so much time and money researching social science and different ways of manipulating the masses into going in one direction or the other, because they can't accomplish their goals without the public's consent, or the public's choice, thinking it's their choice. So that is the power. The power that we have is far, far more powerful than what, these cum guzzlers have. It's imperative to them to continue to divide us using those tactics there. Got to keep it moist. Absolutely. That's why he's so moist. He is moist. Yeah, I love the call, but I love the moist callback. Did a moist show the other day. And if there's any Antichrist who's going to be very, very moist, it's going to be Peter Thiel. It'll be a moist discussion of technology and religion. Off the record, Chatham House rules. Amen. It's just baffling to me. A discussion about religion and Christianity off the record? Jesus can't even come to that. Jesus is not allowed in this discussion. Sorry, Jesus, it's off the record. Show me a ticket. Get out of here. You can walk on water, but you're not walking in here. Yeah, I talk out of my ass quite often too, Sobe. And that's going to be the end of the show. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Appreciate it. It was fun. Thanks for listening to my nonsense and reading through that document with me. And we'll do it again on Thursday. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Propagandafight.com, youtube.com/Brad Binkley, rumble.com/Prop Report, at Freedom Act Radio on X. You can find all my links in bio. And if you want to support the show and you're listening on audio, you can let the ads play through. We don't get anything if you don't, if you skip the ads. If you want to get access to the show I do with Sam Tripoli and Austin Picard called Whatever This Is, you can subscribe on patreon.com/propaganda report or propreport.locals.com. You will get that show, and also I remove the ads for audio listeners on those platforms. Or you can leave a review, 5-star review that warms my heart. Or come hang out with us in the chats, smash like. I think you can leave tips and stuff on YouTube, whatever. Share it with friends. Or just smile and enjoy your life and have a good evening. That also makes me happy. See you guys later. I believe today's National Dog Day, so give your dog a hug. Talk to you guys next time.